Hey everyone, this is Sarah with SewingPartsOnline.com. Today I'm going to show you how to use and install the sliding buttonhole foot. So this is our buttonhole foot. It's pretty big, but it's got a few different parts we're going to go over. The first part is this little hole right here is where your needle goes through, and it's the starting point of your buttonhole. This little bar is where your shank clamps onto, and all the way back here is like a sliding holder for your button. So for a bigger button, clamps on like that. For a smaller button, clamps on just like that. To install it, it's really simple. All we do is take off the foot that we have, slide this under. We want to put it right underneath the shank so we can clamp on. Really easily. And then an important step here is once you have your buttonhole, your button in, so once it's in there, you want to bring down this little lever and match it up with the little white square right here. And that's going to let your foot know how big the buttonhole needs to be. So now we have our buttonhole foot installed, we can start sewing. However, just a few tips. If you're getting new to using a buttonhole foot, try to mark where you're gonna have your button be. So like if this were a shirt, this would be the center of my buttonhole, and this would be the start, and all the way back here would be the back. So just something to keep in mind. Also, a little tip, I know that it's helpful for some people to use a stabilizer underneath their fabric to help the hole stay a little bit more secure. So it's just up to you, whatever you want to do. But all we do is we're going to put the pressure foot down. We're going to pull down our little lever. And all we do is press go, and the foot will do the whole thing for us. And that's really all there is to it. All we're gonna do is get a seam ripper and open up the front. The material is gonna fray a little bit. If you have some stabilizer, it'll prevent that a little bit more. If you have some fusible stabilizer. So that's all there is to it. It's perfect. It looks really neat. Also, if you're making a buttonhole, it doesn't always have to be for buttons. You could thread like ribbon through here. You could put drawstrings through it. It's just a really handy tool to help that's going to make perfect openings. So with the buttonhole foot, it's going to work just as well on knit fabric as it did on the woven fabric we did earlier. So this is a nice lightweight knit. I doubled it up. You could also put some stabilizer underneath it. That helps. And we're just going to use some embroidery thread and a top stitch needle, and it's going to look really, really nice. So here we go. So as we can see here, it's a nice, clean and neat, beautiful buttonhole. And the same thing as before, we're just going to open it up with a seam ripper down the middle, just like that. To purchase your buttonhole foot, visit us on SewingPartsOnline.com or check us out on Facebook at /sewingpartsonline.